to my channel. Welcome if you're new or if you're coming over from the playlist. I'm Holly and I'm very happy that you're here today for this monthly group collaboration video. We share this the first Sunday of every month and it's always a themed video. So for this month, since it's November, we're doing Thanksgiving dishes. And I know that you will find lots of great meal ideas for your Thanksgiving Day dinner. So I'm going to leave the playlist down below of all my YouTube friends who are making some delicious dishes for this one. So please be sure to go and check that out. Also, it is being hosted by Melissa at I'm Merely Melissa and Kristy at Kristy's Farmhouse. They both have great content on their channels, lots of food content, lots of lifestyle content. So please be sure to go and check that out. I'm going to leave their links down below in the description box as well. And now I'm going to show you the two simple and easy recipes that I made for this collaboration. I'll leave the links down below in the description box so you can get the recipe. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. And if you're looking for a super easy side dish for Thanksgiving Day, this is definitely one to try. This is the classic, just a 5-ingredient corn casserole. So all you need for this is 1 box of Jiffy corn muffin mix, 1 can of whole kernel corn, and you want to drain that can, 1 can of sweet corn that's creamed. You don't obviously, drain that one. And a 1/2 cup of melted butter, which is basically 1 stick of butter melted, and 1 cup of sour cream. That's the main 5 ingredients that you need for this dish. Now, I decided to add 1 tablespoon of sugar and 2 eggs. You don't need to do that, and you can add more sugar if you want. I don't want it to be too sweet, so I'm just adding 1 tablespoon. But you can add cheese to this if you wanted, or even jalapeno peppers. But in a bowl, just add your corn muffin mix, the butter, the eggs, then add your sour cream, the corn that you drained, and then add the sweet corn. I added the sugar, mixed it up really well so that way everything was fully combined. Then I prepared a baking dish. You can use an 8x8 or a 9x9, it says, and just make sure it's going to fit in there. But I just sprayed it with some nonstick spray and then just smooth the top off a little bit and put it in the oven on 350 for about 45 to 50 minutes. And this is what it looked like when it came out of the oven. Nice golden brown on the edges and a little bit on the top. So really did turn out great. Really love this one. And it did have just a hint of sweetness, not overly sweet, which was nice because my husband doesn't like a lot of sweetness in savory type dishes and things. So this was really good. Really did enjoy this one. And like I said, adding just a tablespoon of the sugar didn't make it too sweet. Just the right amount. So this one's a really quick and easy one. Great for Thanksgiving Day or any side dish any time of the year. And today I'm making a Kentucky Derby pie, which is basically a bourbon pecan pie. So for this you will need 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And it also called for a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. I thought that might have been a mistake in the recipe and ended up adding 1 1/4 cups instead, which may have been a mistake, and you'll see that little mishap later in this video. Also, a 1/2 cup of melted butter, so 1 stick of butter melted. You will also need a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of chocolate chips, and semi-sweet is what I'm using, and they say that's a little bit better than the milk chocolate, that the semi-sweet is a little bit better for this. Also, 3/4 cup of light corn syrup, 2 tablespoons of bourbon, and you don't have to add bourbon if you don't want. It does cook off, but if you don't want to use bourbon or if you don't have it, you can use vanilla. Just use extra vanilla in the recipe. 4 eggs, and you want to have that at room temperature. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and it says 1 regular 9-inch pie crust. Do not cook it, it says, so I did not pre-cook this, and I did, as I do with any pie that I make, I do pierce it with, or poke the pie crust with a fork, and I do that on the bottom and on the sides. So I've always done that, and the package even says to do that. So we're going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 325, and then I'm going to show you how to put all of this together. So to a bowl, add your eggs, the brown sugar, the corn syrup, and the flour, and then just mix that up really well till it's fully incorporated. And you could do this with a hand mixer if you want. I just decided just to go ahead and whisk it with the whisk. And once it was all mixed in, then I added the vanilla, the melted butter, the bourbon, if you're adding that. Just mix that up thoroughly. Add the chocolate chips, and then add the pecans. And this is where I really think I should have probably just added a 4th cup of the pecans. I was extremely disappointed with this. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this into the pie shell. And I did line a cookie sheet with some foil for the spillage, which is going to happen. I honestly should have stopped right there and just been done with that and put it in the oven, but no, my mind was like, no, it's all going to fit. And I thought like that recipe had to be mistaken for the pecans. I think if it would have just had the 4th cup of pecans or a deep dish pie crust, this would have been okay. But no, I just kept going and just kept putting it into the pan. I was frustrated at this point, and then it just did start to spill over, as you can see. So I'm still getting it all out, but I wanted to show this because these things happen, and you know, I should have followed that recipe and just did the 4th cup of pecans, because I think that's what made it to be so much, I guess. But also, I think if it would have had a deep dish pie crust, this would have been okay. So I'm just sharing this because I feel like the recipe would probably be good if I would have followed it to the T. This is what it looked like when it came out of the oven. I was able to get that off of there, but you can kind of see what overflowed. Actually, when I took it off, I kind of taste tested, and it was actually really good. So it could be actually a different type of recipe as well. It kind of had like a cakey cookie texture to it. Like my husband said, oh, it could be a cake. So I didn't eat that burnt stuff, obviously. I was just kind of breaking it off just to kind of get another piece there to show you how the texture is. So it was kind of like a chewy sort of cookie texture. So that's just the liquid part that, you know, came off. But obviously this could probably be cooked maybe in a 9 by 13 inch pan and be made into little like bars of pecan bars or something. So it wasn't really a waste at all. So just accidents happen sometimes, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this is what it looks like once I took it off that cookie sheet, and it actually worked out fine. I do wish some of that liquid that did, you know, flow over would have been in there, but as I said before, I'll have to do this again with a deep dish, which I think would work better, because I do feel like you needed those pecans. A 1/4 of a cup just would not have been enough. And I'm going to leave the link down below just to have it for you in case you want to try it and do it in a bigger dish. But this is what it looks like when it was cut into. So it's got a lot of chocolate there and some of that filling, but I wish more of that filling would have been in there, but it still tasted delicious. So it really was a good pie. And like I said before, it could probably even be put into a 13 by 9 inch pan and made into just like, you know, bars or whatever to eat. So this was one definitely going to try again, even though it was a little disaster in the beginning. It's a recipe that I think is worth it. So one of those that definitely going to try again. Please don't forget to check the playlist down below along with Melissa and Kristy's channels, and be sure to check them out. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in seeing more like it, please click that subscribe button and the notification bell, and that will notify you when I post new videos. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching. God bless y'all.